Good day. Welcome to Miss Valley Entertainment News. My name is Dread. You have to bear with me. If I look like shit, it's probably because I kind of feel like shit. Had a really hard week at work. And as I record this, it's like Friday afternoon, and I still got 2 more shifts before I get a weekend here. Last night was my first decent night's sleep all week. It's just getting burned out feeling on work right now. It's been a little bit tough lately, but that's okay. We're powering through as best we can. And I'm trying to bring you some more news as well. So I'm spending time before work here, recording a bunch of this stuff, getting it edited and uploaded and ready to come out. So yeah, we're going to be taking a look here at some Helldivers 2 stuff, because there's still a lot of drama around this game, the Arrowhead Game Studios company, and of course Sony. So we're going to be reacting to 3 different videos. We'll try to keep this too long, so I'll stop talking and we'll get into it. My reactions to this. First one's by Yellow Flash 2, called Helldivers 2 Community Manager Fired. Arrowhead Studios cleans house and burns out the rot. By the way, these will all be linked down below. Let's go. Yeah, it's my jam.
Helldivers 2 is back to mostly positive reviews.
Cool.
Now, I'm sure that you're all well aware what happened. There's been a lot going on with Helldivers 2, but in the end, Sony and Arrowhead, mostly Sony because this was a Sony decision, but in the end, they both listened to gamers and gave gamers a win. I saw that there's...
Whoa. Okay, full stop. All of you are like, yes, gamers won. If you're watching any of my other videos, let me just fill you in a little bit. Gamers won the battle. The gamers absolutely lost the fucking war on this one. Okay? If you were taking a stand against having to link your games to a Sony account or get a Sony account in order to play the games on PC, you lost the fucking war. Pay attention, people. You won the battle, you lost the war. You don't have to link Helldivers 2 at this time. However, Sony changed their terms of service to write into their terms of service that in order to play some games, you will have to link your accounts or have an account, even if you're not playing on console. Let me say it again. Gamers, good for you for winning the battle, but you lost sight of the actual war that was being fought, and you lost it because Sony won. They don't care that much about Helldivers 2 and linking accounts, but what they wanted to do was set this up so that, yes, accounts going forward, they can at any time say these accounts have to be linked, and you'll have to go fight that battle all over again. If you think you're going to continually win, you're wrong. Sony got exactly what they wanted out of this. Changed the terms of service to make sure going forward, anytime they want to do this, they can. And they will.
There's been some people saying, yeah, not a huge win. I think it is a huge win. You had basically a united front of people that were tired of what was going on. They didn't even really organize. They just came together and made it happen. It couldn't be stopped. Game journalists tried to stop it. Community managers tried to stop it. And at the end of the day, gamers won. So I think that...
So I don't think Yellow Flash 2 here understands how war is fought. You quite often will pull back and lose a battle on purpose in order to win the war. There's no understanding here of the bigger picture, which is kind of sad.
That's a great thing. Arrowhead's handled it very well. They even put a pretty cool new cape in the game where it has the negative the negative ratings back to the switch to positive on the back of the capes. I think that that's pretty cool, and it shows that they're being good sports about it. Another thing has happened, though, that is why I'm making this video. The community manager for the Helldivers 2 Discord, who was mocking players that were upset and leaving and quitting. He has been fired from his role.
Now, to be fair, there are 3 community managers, and they were all mocking the people. They were all being assholes, and instead of supporting the community, were basically telling the community, I fucking hate you. And again, these are the community managers that Arrowhead Game Studios hired to represent themselves to the community. So, again, a lot of people out there are thinking Arrowhead Game Studios is on our side. Are they? Are they really? Or do they just really care about your dollars? I mean, it kind of shows that once they've got your money, they don't give a shit until something begins to affect that money, which is by your Steam views, your Steam ratings. Once those tank, they realize that would affect the game sales going forward, etc. Right? But that gets their attention. But what else actually does? What else actually changes the mindset of, hey, we're going to hire people who fucking hate gamers to represent us to gamers? Why would you think that that's a good company in any way? I mean, sure, they made a game you enjoy, absolutely, but don't start equating that with, this is a great company and they love us. People are way too short-sighted, and they're way too quick to forget things they should never forget.
Role as community manager. And it shows you that Arrowhead got their head to the ground on some of these things. They haven't fired all of the community managers.
No, they haven't.
One particular community manager who was salivating at the idea of banning people is still there. Still running the Discord, still community manager. But I think the difference between that community manager and the one that got fired is Spitz was actually banning people. So that is a no-no in their eyes, apparently, and they have shown him the door. And what's funny is he's still in the Discord talking to people like he matters.
The only reason Spitz was fired was because he did something that went against Sony and against the game Arrowhead Game Studios and told you to get negative reviews. Spitz told you, you're unhappy with the game, go leave a negative review. It's the only thing that's going to matter. That is what got Spitz fired, not the way he spoke to the community before that, not the fact that he hated the community, not all the other asshole decisions that Spitz made. It was the one that basically was a slap to his bosses that got him fired. Had nothing to do with you people. Got to do with his relationship with his bosses at Arrowhead, period. He hit them in the wallet, forced them into this change, which Sony didn't want them to have to make, right? So you're going to say, Dread, that goes against what you just said, because you just said that Sony didn't care about this battle, and no, they still cared about it. They would have gladly won the battle. That would have been excellent for them. But in the long-term scheme of things, Sony doesn't care if they won the battle, as long as they win the war, which they did. So yeah, again, Yellow Flash 2 is looking at this, and I think is looking at this completely from the wrong direction.
Well, I was a community manager. I'm going to probably stick around the Discord and flaunt that as a former community manager. Yeah, baby, I used to be a CM for Helldivers too. Wow, amazing. Wow. But anyway, here's what happened. So there's some investigating that went on here by Park Place, John F. Trent, Grums, a few other people, and they found that the guy was fired. Here are the only apparent community managers left, Baskinator and Twinbeard. Baskinator was the one that was salivating at the idea of banning Grum's followers or anybody that represents GG2. But Spitz here, no longer a community manager, no longer has it listed. Such a shame. Yay. As you can see with Baskinator here, though, she still has her community manager role. And like I said, my speculation there is I think the big no-no is banning people, which I've been informed that Spitz has. So, big ol' long rant. Generally, it's not a good idea to refund and leave negative reviews when you're a community manager. I appreciate all the support and appreciate even more that everyone can play the game again without restrictions. I knew I was taking a risk with what I said about refunding and changing reviews. Stand by it. It was my job to respect the community. That's what I did.
Represent, not respect. You read that wrong. And this is great. Maybe the Spitz actually had a change of heart and realized what an asshole they had been, and that maybe they actually should do their proper job. Maybe. Or maybe they're just able to say the platitudes and the nice things that he thinks people want when he wants to. Does this change what he did beforehand? Not at all. Does this make me trust him? Not at all. Does this make me, oh, yay, Spitz, thank you? No, fuck no. Hey, you got fired. Go fuck yourself. You're an idiot. Yeah, you got fired for the right reason after doing the wrong things continually for how long? Oh, then I don't fucking care then. I really don't fucking care. This person's no hero to me.
Taking the rest of the day off.
I'm just saying.
Feeling super
being honest.
well. Love you. How are you representing the community when you're telling people that are mad you thought they were refunding and leaving? Because this person was in here venting. And that's what people were doing in that Discord. They were venting about the frustrations. But Mr. Elitist came down and said, I thought you were going to refund and leave.
Now, doesn't that sound like somebody just laughing at people and mocking them? Well, I wonder why it sounds that way. Maybe because he was laughing at people and mocking them. Spit's a nice person. I'd say based on the past, I'd say fuck no. I think he's a elitist asshole who made one right decision for really reasons unknown. I can't take him at face value by what he says being true because he's an elitist asshole.
Thought you were going to refund and leave. That's why he got fired. Probably.
All right. So let's jump into the next video here and talk about this one. This is by Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear. Hey, Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear. Hi, Buzz. It says this is a brutal change. Helldiver 2 nerfs and a new update. By the way, again, this will be linked down below. Let's jump in.
Off today with this insane clip playing in the background. That right there is called Charger Bronco riding. I think it needs to be in the Helldiver Olympics for 2154. And I couldn't tell you what the hell happened here, but you know, we took full advantage of this wild glitch, and hopefully we impressed General Brash. Anyways, leave me a score in the comment section, 1 to 10 on the technique and that dismount. You know, I'm thinking this is an 11, but that's just
Give
me.
it a 3.
Welcome to the channel.
Work.
It's Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear, and we've got weapon balance changes on the menu for today, including a massive error I made in yesterday's video, staffing changes over at Arrowhead, another patch. I was hoping to fix the last patch, but it wasn't. And, of course, lots more. You know, it's a full schedule for today.
Cool.
Thanks again for your awesome and continued support.
Hey, you're
If you
welcome.
haven't done so already, make sure to hit subscribe.
I'm not subscribed because I'm on my alternate channel. That's why
my latest upload alerts.
I am on the
And
other
let's touch
channels.
all the bases today with Helldivers. All right, you know I love to kick things off with the new Superstore, and right now we're in the middle of a 48-hour reset, which includes the B-24 Enforcer Hybrid Medium Heavy Armor with Fortified for 50% resistance to explosive damage, the matching B-24 Stormtrooper-esque helmet, the CE-74 Breaker helmet, and the CE-74 Breaker lightweight armor with engineering kit for +2 grenades. And remember, tomorrow is when the new War Bond drops, so you may want to save up those super credits to purchase that, and we already know it's coming with 3 new armor sets, along with a whole host of other items. Checking in on the current major order outside of flipping those negative Steam reviews back to positive, and we have 48 hours to go on this one. Heath is now fully liberated. Angel's Venture is right around 58% complete. Veld might as well be at 0%, and Akamar 4 is...
I have nothing to say in any of this because although I cover Helldivers 2, I don't play it, I don't own it. So this is just for you players, I guess.
basically in that same boat. Now, I'm beginning to sweat just a bit on this one. We are basically 1.5 planets into a round of 4 and only 48 hours to knock it out. If you can log on and help out, I know it's midweek, which is not the ideal time for many players, but anything you can do to assist would be appreciated. Also, today's daily order for 15 medals is to knock out 6 side objectives. Looping back around to yesterday into that balance patch, and I just wanted to say that I was flat out, undeniably wrong concerning what I said about the Eruptor. TLDR here is that I thought I would get cute and try to multitask while getting ready to do the school daddy drop-off thing yesterday morning, and so I logged on, kind of half paying attention to the game, saw the Eruptor changes in the patch notes, and said to myself, hey man, you've got 10 minutes or so, why not try to knock it out before you do the video? And I did. But what I didn't pay attention to was the version of the game I was playing, and since I didn't have Steam set to auto-update, I was using the pre-yesterday version of the Eruptor, and I should have been using the most current post-patch version, so to me, it didn't feel like it does now. So again, so sorry, I was wrong. The current Eruptor, despite that claimed plus 40 damage bonus, feels like absolute dog poo. The footage that's been playing in these fresh clips I recorded this morning on the latest version of the Eruptor, yes, I can confirm that, this thing brings back memories of that famous Godfather clip. Now, when the Eruptor first launched, it was unquestionably S-tier, best in class, whatever you want to call it, as it had great base damage, tons of ammo, explosion effects, and shrapnel. I mean, it was really, really good, and everyone knew it, including Arrowhead. Now, since the Democratic Detonation Warbond launch, the Eruptor has had its base ammo counts cut in half, explosion damage drop-off increased, gone through a zany ricochet Helldiver killing few days there, to now having the shrapnel completely removed from the weapon mechanics while picking up some base damage. Now, I don't dive into decimal point weapon testing for Helldivers. Instead, I just kind of take it into the field and give it a whirl. If it feels good and downs targets quickly, it's fine by me. If not, if it takes too long and leaves me exposed, I won't use it. And right now, this current version of the Eruptor is not something I would take into a Helldive mission. And this is just me personally saying this. I'm sure some of you out there may think this thing is fine, but it just doesn't jive with my playstyle. This led to something happening yesterday as players started logging in and trying to get a hold of these new changes, kind of wrap their minds around them, and some irregularities were then noted, one of them being the Eruptor. And this prompted a response from Twinbeard saying there were several items that they were looking into that just didn't seem to be working as intended when it came down to yesterday's patch. But we also seem to have received a pretty lengthy post from Alexis, the game balance dev, explaining the dev thought process for removing shrapnel, because it was killing Helldivers, that plus 40 damage, and an exploit. Don't know if I would have used that to describe it. Instead, let's call it a skilled technique for getting high damage shots on heavily armored targets. At least that's where I think they were headed with their post. As it sits right now, here is where the studio is at. We can't bring the shrapnel back the way it was. We don't want it to one-shot chargers, and we don't want it to have a chance to kill you or your teammates. We have a cluster bomb for that. I still strongly believe that the Eruptor benefits from the dealing less damage more consistently. So, it's a net minus if you're lucky or are using an exploit, and a net plus otherwise. However, we're still investigating if this change has affected any breakpoints against medium enemies, and we will look into this.
So it does sound like they thoroughly look into it at least. So I don't know. Are you a Helldivers player? Are you happy or not with this? Let me know.
That. I won't promise that it will definitely be buffed, as the weapon in its current state is still absolutely
let's move ahead
viable.
A little bit. Let's skip ahead a little bit.
Instead of fixing or outright removing the ricochets, or just making armor immune to shrapnel. There's also this question of the studio's previous statements about how they wanted us to lean more heavily on our stratagems to deal with bigger targets. Our primaries were there for the high-density, low-health mobs, the chaff, and then we were supposed to bring out the big guns like Eagles, like Orbitals, and heavy weaponry to deal with
skip ahead a little bit more.
Which,
sorry, some of this is just
or
completely gameplay related.
Speaking of forgiveness, it looks like Spitz has been let go as a community manager over at Arrowhead. There's been a series of Discord messages popping up, and there's also a bit of confusion surrounding this topic. I've seen posts that this is a done deal, no longer at Arrowhead. I've seen other posts saying that Spitz has been demoted from their duties as CM, but they are still with Arrowhead. I mean, I honestly don't have a 100% answer for this, but one thing is for sure, Spitz was right when they said that telling people to review bomb and refund a game isn't a popular decision with the publisher.
What I said.
Now here's the thing, and once again, just my opinion, but without Spitz hitting the airwaves and outright telling players to post those negative reviews, to go refund the game, etc., we would not have gotten onto Sony's radar concerning this PSN mandatory login issue the way that we did. The fact that a studio CM was actually saying that first is just freaking insane. I mean, I've never seen a CM say something like that, but the fact that they did also served as a directional focus beam for us to do just that. And in the end, the whole damn thing worked. Since I now have my game set to auto updates, I was able to get the latest version of the game this morning because we got yet another new update. 1.000.303 went live early this morning, and everything here, which, by the way, is not much.
Look at another video to cover here. Good one, too, so stay tuned.
Now, you know how this works. Arrowhead fixes something. They add something new into the game, and something else becomes broken, and it turns out that there was a crash related to damage over time, which, after yesterday, is working pretty well. There were also 2 items related to hot joining quick play sessions. One involving joining a party that became full, while the other was a known issue about recent players that were in hot join parties not showing up in the recent players tab until they hit planet side, or not at all if they drop party in the loadout screen. All right, that's it for today.
Okay, let's jump into this one here. This is by Geeks and Gamers. I don't want your support. Fired Helldivers mod makes things worse. I wish you'd just call them a community manager. Discord moderator doesn't sound as impressive. Community manager is their title. I think people saying, "Oh, they're just a moderator for the Discord. They don't even get paid. They just pick people to do that." No, that's not true. When you have the title of community manager and a gaming company puts you in charge of speaking to the community on their behalf, you are a paid employee. So this is going back to Spitz getting fired, and this is going back to what I was talking about at the very beginning, and this will help to show, again, why I think Spitz is an entitled asshole. Despite doing something for the, that helped out the community and gamers, entitled asshole. Let's get into it.
I don't want your support is such a strange hill to die on for so many people, but we see it more often than not. I have said, I don't care if you agree with me. I don't care if you disagree with me. I don't care who you vote for. I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care what your religion is. You could support me. You can give me money. You could support me in whatever way you want to. I am not here to judge or anything like that. But that's just me. And I guess that's why I'm different than a lot of these people that are in the games journalist world or the games media or anything like that. It typically seems to be a leftist standpoint where they have to denounce the support of someone that they deem to be toxic. I don't know, maybe their inner circle is going to tell them you're a bad person for having the support of someone that they don't like. I'm not sure. But we're talking about more Helldivers drama because the community manager that created a lot of this controversy within the Discord has been fired. And there has been more developments. First, let's watch this 2-minute clip from the Asmongold Clips channel to give us a little bit of the information.
So Helldivers has fired the Discord community manager Spitz, who inflamed the community with his flip defenses of PlayStation Network, which he later walked back. And he cites asking players to do negative reviews as the reason.
Context. This is why people initially hated him.
But if it's a deal breaker to have to take 120 seconds out of your day to enter an email and a password, change your Steam review, and make your displeasure known on a platform that matters.
See, that right there, that take really did get him in a lot of trouble. And again, this is a community manager that is basically dismissing the concerns of the community.
As any employee of a company, if you go and tell people to publicly voice their displeasure in a way that's going to hit that company in the wallet, you're not going to be employed. Not by this company.
not understanding what the problem is, why people are upset, and then blaming them and saying, oh, if you can't take 120 seconds to, it's such nonsense. But again, that's why people initially didn't like this community manager named Spitz.
Your gnome on a platform that matters. This will kill Helldivers 2, backpedal, or lose your player base. And then the community manager says, I thought you were refunding and leaving.
And then the redemption.
Players making their displeasure known through reviews, refunds, etc. gives us more Bro, there's no way that you can say this. There's no way you can say downvote the game so Sony lets...
I mean, I don't really see it makes sense, and it worked, and that's exactly what happened, is that they got the attention of Sony. I understand the point Asmon's making there, too.
Let's just do what we want. Oh my god, this guy's about to get cooked. Guys, I called it. Yeah, I did. You can't tell people to review bomb the game. He took a massive risk, but it cost him his job. This is what he says. I appreciate all the support, and I appreciate even more that everyone can play the game again without restrictions. I knew I was taking a risk with what I said about refunding and changing reviews. I stand by it. It was my job to represent the community, and that's what I did. Taking the rest of the day off, not feeling super well. Love you all. The Twitter comments are cooking him. The reason why the Twitter comments are cooking him is because Mark Kern has been on a war against another community manager, and people in the comments probably think that it's the same community manager that said that Mark Kern was a rapist or had sexually assaulted people.
So if you don't know Mark Kern is Grunz, again, I have a video on this that not many people have watched about who Grums is, who Mark Kern is, and why he is a hero, an actual hero to the gaming community as a previous former insider. This is what people will say about him, absolutely fucking lying about him everywhere. They try to get him arrested by the FBI. They put out hits on him and offer people money to kill him, to shut him up because of the stuff he says about the gaming community. He is actually on the gamer side, is Grums or Mark Kern. And yeah, you really should watch my video on that.
But if anybody actually paid attention, they'd know that these are two different people.
Yes, but I think that people were still frustrated with the initial comments that Spitz had said as well. And it's like, it feels like he was playing both sides. It feels like
absolutely
his comment that was talking about review bombing, it felt like that was a kind of a course correction because he realized how much he stepped into it. That's what I think. But again, there's more to this that we're going to get to that makes me really question this Spitz person.
Thank you, Jeremy. I do think that probably Spitz got shit on so bad by the community that he got very frustrated. And it caused him to just throw his hands up in the air and basically say, I don't want to do this anymore anyways. Look, just go review bomb the game. Do something that actually matters. I think that's pretty much where he got to. This is not about him being a hero. This is about the fact that he was such an asshole and got called out so badly for it. He threw his hands in the air and basically threw his job away and made a comment. And we give him way too much credit to say that his comment actually changed things. I think the community was doing what he told them to do anyways.
In general.
To be fair, Mark Kern specified that most of the blame should be put on the lead CM Baskinator, who even though she knew about the upcoming account linking, did nothing to prepare her team to manage the situation.
Yeah, it was dumb for him to have said that. And then he realized that after he looked into it more, and he apologized. Spitz played a very pivotal role by explicitly saying that giving negative reviews...
But did he straight up apologize?
Giving him too much credit.
I don't know if he straight up apologized. Okay, yeah, I was completely... Okay, here it is. Yeah, I was completely unaware of how many countries didn't have the ability to make a PSN account when I made that statement. I deeply regret implying that it was so easy for everyone to just sign up and not have to worry about it. It's absolutely not our intention to force people to break Sony TOS or just not play the game if they're in a restricted region.
He only apologized to people who are in countries where you cannot sign up for Sony. You cannot sign up for a PlayStation account. Those are the only people he apologized to. The rest of the people, who were, a lot of them still complaining about having to make a Sony account or link a Sony account because they didn't want to, he did not apologize to any of them. So again, those thinking that Spitz is this great hero of the gaming community, give your heads a shake and look into things a little bit deeper.
Region, there needs to be a better solution. Okay, I forgot that I did read that one a few days ago.
After he looked into it more, and he apologized. Spitz played a very pivotal role by explicitly saying that giving negative reviews and shitting on the game will give them more leverage against Sony.
It was not a pivotal role. That thing was already happening, and if he had to said it, somebody else would have anyways. In fact, I guarantee you hundreds, if not thousands of other people were saying it. They just didn't quite have the reach he did, perhaps, or whatever. But guarantee somebody with that kind of reach was going to say something. Not a community manager, but somebody big in the gaming community like Grums or somebody else. Asmongold, somebody was going to say, that's all you have to do. And this would have been done anyways. So again, you're elevating an asshole to hero status. I don't like it. Asmongold be better.
Said what, as far as I know, nobody ever has said about any game in terms of their relationship with the publisher ever. And he risked his job for that. I think we should respect that. And he was an idiot for saying what he originally said, but I think he made up for it. And
still an idiot.
Respect it, yes.
Still an idiot.
And I've seen that a lot. A lot of people are basically saying that they respect Spitz and they appreciate him for what he's done. And while I do understand that, this right here makes me forget all of that. So here is Grum's tweet, and he says, I think Spitz in the end actually ended up helping Helldivers in a big way, and that they should have fired Baskinator instead for never briefing and prepping her team for something they knew about for months. She let him walk right in the fire and then fired him. Apparently, this is the guy Spitz that was fired, the community manager in question over Discord, and Spitz responds to Grums.
So embarrassed,
Katie
he's Canadian.
Has never been anything short of a phenomenal boss. She's had my back through everything and was the reason I got the job at all. I have no problem with that statement. It's this part right here. I don't want your support.
Asshole.
It's such a fucking stupid take.
Elitist asshole.
I don't know if this is like an 18-year-old or a 19-year-old or a 20-year-old. I have no idea, because typically Discord mods it's not a paid position. It's a volunteer position.
Bullshit,
this has
Jeremy.
created a ton of controversy, which has put a lot of attention on a lot of different people in a short amount of time. And I imagine this person is probably getting a ton of social media attention, and I hope that people aren't just going in on this Spitz person. And I would obviously not encourage anyone to do anything, but it's clear that the comments are pretty brutal at this point in time. I would recommend this person get off the internet for a little while and stop talking. Tweets like this are a huge mistake, and they shouldn't be happening. But this is such a bad take. You don't actively tell people you don't want their support. That is a leftist tactic typically. That's usually something the left goes, I don't want your support. What does that even mean? So you're telling Grums that he's not allowed to publicly say something about you, regardless if it's for or against. You're telling him you're not allowed to say positive things about me.
That's because it's a... I was going to say leftist tactic, because he said it. Let's just say it's a tactic of some people to associate you with someone who supports you. Oh, look, that person supported you. You're linked together, and we think that person's terrible, so you're clearly terrible as well. It's like one politician calling on another one and saying, oh my God. Look who voted for. Look, this person over here said they voted for you, and they're disgusting. They're a murderer, and they're in jail. You must stand with murderers. Then you appeal to murderers. Look, this person supports you. They said that they publicly said they voted for you, and we've got them on camera from 5 years ago saying a racist comment. So you must be in bed with racists. It's that kind of absolute fucking stupidity that goes on in politics. that is leaking. I mean, it's not leaking, let's be honest. It's cascading in like a dam that's been broken open into gaming right now, into everywhere in society. It's the finger pointing, it's the separating, it's the name calling. That's leaked from toxic politicians into all of fucking society right now. In many cases, in some universities, this kind of shit is being taught as a course, how to do this kind of shit. It's gross, it's disgusting, it's stupid. I don't care if Spitz is an 18-year-old or a 47-year-old or a 103-year-old. I don't care if Spitz is a man, woman, or wants to think they're a trash can. Doesn't fucking matter to me. That's a stupid-ass fucking thing to say, and you're a fucking idiot. Let's lay it out there. You're a fucking idiot.
Such a stupid thing to say, and he's getting cooked in the comments again.
Rightly so.
Now, the reason I'm questioning if this is really him is this account only has one tweet. Now, the account did join in 2019, but it has one tweet.
Administrator for Red Dead Redemption?
And the one tweet is his response to Grums.
For Reddit.
Now, Grums quote tweeted,
Reddit
it says
Redemption.
unable to view the post. I don't know if that's because he blocked Grums. I have no idea.
Probably.
But this is Grums quote tweeted that says, you don't have my support. I just pointed out you got screwed. And that's the whole thing. Like, it's not like Grums is going like, I stand with Spitz. I'm with Spitz all the way until the end. He's simply just saying like, hey, this is my opinion based on what happened. And you're coming in here like a girl and saying, I don't want your support.
Jeremy. I watched this video before and I forgot about this part. Jeremy? No. You cannot say, come in here like a girl. Dude, be better than that. Zip your lip, staple it shut. Don't say that shit. That's offensive. That's stupid. And I know you're all for free speech, Jeremy, and so am I, but don't be an asshole and say shit like that. Because it makes you look like a bigger asshole than you actually are. Okay? You're opinionated. You are opinionated. That's fine. You're allowed to be opinionated. I don't have a problem with you being opinionated. But don't use comments like that. Think about it before you say it. You want to say you come in there like a sissy, or you come in there like a mama's boy. You want to say those kind of things. That's fine, but don't say come in there like a girl, because there's a lot of girls who are a lot stronger, dude, and would beat the shit out of you, quite honestly, for saying that kind of stuff. Don't do it. That's irresponsible.
Pathetic. It's pathetic behavior. But ultimately, yes, Baskinator is the true problem, it would appear, in this situation based on what we're seeing right now. But this has been a disaster. This whole thing has been a disaster up to this point. And nonsense like this makes me not think that this person is someone that should be on. A lot of people are going, he's on the side of the gamers, and it's like, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Not with a thing where you say, I don't want your support to someone like, well, first of all, to say that to anyone, but to say that with someone like Grums, it's a weird take, and
shows his true feelings on gamers and those who actually stand up for gamers.
I don't like it at all. So we're going to continue to follow this.
All right, people, that's it for my coverage of all three of these videos. So check out the links down below to all three of them. And thank you for sticking around with me for, oh my God, 39 minutes. My apologies for spending this much time, but we had to cover this. This is a great topic. I love it. And it was great to break this down for you. Hope you got something out of it. For Miss Valley Entertainment News, my name is Dread. See y'all next time. Bye-bye.